Hey Polish fans, it's Caroline again and welcome to another video here at Wild Moonlocker. In today's video I am finally getting around to doing the Would You Rather tag that was started by Restored by Polish. Now I'm also doing this as a paint along with me. The two polishes that I'm going to be using for this mani is I will be layering Quixotic's lavender base coat, which is a correcting base coat, and this Cascade polish called Mayflowers that I received in the giant indie mystery box in that 3-part series. So I was really excited about this one, and I thought I would layer this with this sheer lavender to sort of create a glittery opalescent look on the nail. So I'm really excited to see how that's going to look. So I'm going to get you guys in closer. So let's get started on the Would You Rather. Question number 1 is, would you rather have to wear the same polish every day for a year or wear no nail polish every day for a year? Whoops. And for that I would definitely pick wearing the same polish because I really enjoy having polish on my nails. I have gotten very used to having them on my nails, and also now when I don't have something on my nails I feel like my nails are really unprotected and delicate. It's not like when you've got polish on them, it feels like sturdier, I guess. So I would definitely pick the first one, and that is wearing the same polish for a year. It would be hard to pick a color, but I think that's the direction I would have to go. Question number 2 is, would you rather break your favorite limited edition polish or miss out on the best limited edition polish? And that one I would have to say is miss out. I would be very disappointed and upset if I broke a nail polish, especially one that was limited edition and difficult to find. The likelihood is it would be very difficult to replace, whereas if you never got a hold of it, you wouldn't really know what you were missing. I mean, you would still have that in your wish list. Goodness knows I have those lemmings. However, not having had them in your hands, it's still sort of a I might one day own it, you know? Whereas if it's something that you bought, maybe you even bought it from a D-stash and it was more expensive than retail, now you're not thinking about just I'm missing this nail polish, you're thinking about the money that you put into it and how the likelihood is that you probably won't get it again. So yeah, I would definitely say miss out on the polish as opposed to breaking it. Question number 3, would you rather have to use a fluffy wonky brush for a year or have to use a thick goopy formula for a year? That's a tough one. That's a tough one because both issues with polish are tough to get used to. Getting used to a new brush can be difficult if you aren't familiar with how to work the formula with that brush, but so can a formula that you aren't used to. So especially a goopy one, that can be really difficult to adjust to, and especially using it for an entire year. I mean, I suppose either way you'd eventually get used to how the brush functions, and you'd eventually get used to how the formula functions, and sometime not that far into that year you'd probably be just fine either way, you know, as frustrating as either one would be. So that's toughy. I would say probably I would prefer to deal with formula than I would a wonky brush. Especially if we're going specifically for a fluffy wonky brush, I think it would drive me a bit cuckoo to constantly be having to fix errors on my nails because I do have rather small nail beds. They aren't the tiniest ever, but you know, when you get down to my pinkies, they are fairly narrow, and if I have this massive wonky brush, I would constantly be having to do a lot more cleanup than I'm used to. I most of the time only do very minimal cleanup, so having to adjust to that might be a bit more frustrating than working with a goopy formula that I might eventually be able to master. And we're going to move on to our Cascade glitter polish and move on to question number 4, and that is, would you rather wear only cream finishes for a year or wear only glitter finishes for a year? that's a toughie too. So I'm putting on a glitter polish right now, but I don't wear them all that frequently. The reason being is removal is sort of a pain. If you've wore glitter polishes before, you'll know what I'm talking about. It can be a scrubbing disaster if you don't use a pale off base coat, which I'm not, because I'm going for the lavender base coat, which is going to help correct the yellowing that I've got going on my nails right now. But I do prefer the peel off base coat method. I haven't tried the other methods. I've been suggested, or it has been suggested, to use the soak off method, but I don't have the soak off doodads. I don't remember what they're called, but they're the little things that like clip onto the, maybe that's what they're called, nail clips. I don't have the soak off nail clips. However, what I have noticed is helpful is putting a bunch of acetone on your cotton swab or cotton pad, and then sort of resting that on your nail polish and letting it rest there for a minute and sort of have it settle into the polish. Especially with creams, it makes it super fast to remove. So I could see it being fairly easy to get used to removing glitter after a while, but I could also see it causing a lot of extra damage on the nails, because depending on the size of the glitter, I've definitely had some glitter nail polishes come off and scratch my nail bed, which is definitely not something that I would want to do for an entire year. At the same time, I could see myself getting kind of bored just using cream polishes, so that's another tough one. What would I prefer? I think I would have to say glitter. That's a tough one, but I might have to go with glitter just because creams I think I would get bored by a bit faster. I seem to have missed the edge of that pinky. Whereas glitter formulas are a little bit closer to one of my favorite types of polish, and that is flakies and multichromes, where you have a whole lot going on, so you've got a bunch of different colors going on per polish. So I think I would have a lot more fun with the glitter manis, at least while wearing them, maybe not while removing them, than I would if I was limited to just wearing cream polishes. So that was a long explanation for that one, but I think I would have to say glitter polishes. Question number 5 is, would you rather not watch your favorite nail YouTuber for a year, or have to upload your own nail video every day for a year? Now that's another tough one, because having had my own channel now for over a year, I know how time consuming it is even to make a 12-minute video. So sometimes it's easy, but sometimes you've got a lot of editing to do. Sometimes you're trying to add swatch pictures and extra swatching videos, so it can be pretty time consuming even to just post a small video. And if you're doing that every single day, I could see it getting a bit overwhelming and frustrating and sort of burning out quickly. But I would also miss not watching my favorite nail polish YouTubers, but I think I would be able to do that and survive, if you will, a bit better and not come out feeling burnt out by anything. Whereas if I were to try to post a video every single day, I would very easily get burnt out and frustrated with the process. And I think I would probably wind up a bit more annoyed and frustrated over that course of the year, instead of just eventually getting used to not watching my favorite YouTuber. So I think I would go with that, not watching my favorite YouTuber. Question number 6 is, would you rather not be able to use acetone antidote or not be able to use cuticle oil? And I would say for this one, would you rather not be able to use acetone antidote? So which would you rather not be able to use? I think I would rather not be able to use cuticle oil. To be perfectly honest, I don't use it very often, and it could be why I'm having some yellowing on my nails. I was reading up about that here recently, because my nails have definitely gotten yellower And I wouldn't call it staining necessarily, because to me what staining is when you put on, say, a bright blue nail polish and then you remove it and your nails are left with this residual color left behind. So to my mind, the yellow coloring on the nails is more of a discoloring that happens from long-term use. And the weird thing is I use a base coat every single time. I always use a base coat. It varies on what kind of base coat, but I always wear a base coat. So that was one of the reasons that they were saying in that article that you could get yellowing of the nails. But one of the other ones that I might be guilty of is not moisturizing your nails enough. So I'm going to be trying to do more moisturizing of my nails. So I should be using more cuticle oil. However, I really enjoy having the acetone antidote in the nail polish remover, because then it doesn't dry out your nails. And then you can always add lotion or a bunch of other things to moisturize your nails. So I think I would miss cuticle oils less than I would miss the acetone antidote. Question number 7 is, would you rather break a nail or break a loved polish? And that to me was a pretty easy question. I would rather break a nail. Now, I don't like breaking a nail bad. That's why this one is so short right now, is I broke it fairly far down onto my nail bed, and I had to use some nail glue to shore it up and strengthen it so that it could at least grow out past the edge of my nail. So I wouldn't want to break a nail that badly, but I mean, I'm constantly chipping and breaking nails anyways, so it's something that I'm used to. It's still a pain. I don't necessarily like it, but I would say that I would rather that happen, because nails grow back, nail polishes don't. So unless it was a polish that was available all the time and easy to get a hold of, I would say I would rather break a nail. Question number 8 is, would you rather have to wear seasonal color polishes forever or never wear seasonal nail polish colors? And that one is a little bit easy, because I've been really enjoying my seasonal nail polish wearing. If you are new to my channel, basically this is the first year that I've been wearing nail polish seasonally. Oh, I'm really liking how that's looking. That is exactly what I was hoping it would do. That's pretty. I'm really liking this. So this is the first year, starting last year in around this time of year, I think it was in March, that I started to wear polish seasonally, and I've been really enjoying it. I never ever even thought about wearing polish seasonally before. But when you start a YouTube channel, you start watching a bunch of other people who are doing seasonal things, and it struck me as a really decent way of, well, A, having videos to post, and then also of being able to get through or make the best use out of your nail polish collection by basing what you wore on the seasons. So I've really been enjoying wearing polish seasonally. So I would have to say I would rather forever wear polish seasonally as opposed to never wear polish seasonally, because it's something, like I said, that I've really been enjoying. It sort of forces you to view your nail polish collection in a way that you switch it up every few months, instead of what I had been doing was sort of getting in a rut of, well, these are my favorite colors, and now I'm always wearing purple nail polish. So at least if you're wearing seasonal, even if you only do want to wear your purple nail polishes, you can at least switch it up and wear the dusty colors in the fall, wear your interesting sort of moody purples in the winter. And yeah, I've really been enjoying the seasonal wearing. So I would have to say, I would have to go with that one. So another rambling answer for yes, I would rather forever wear polish seasonally. Question number 9 is, would you rather buy from only one indie brand for a year or buy only from one mainstream brand for a year? And I would have to say indie. I would definitely pick indie. The reason being is mainstreams, for the most part, don't usually offer as many limited edition, one-time release only sort of polishes, whereas with indies, if you're familiar with all of the different venues that they have, I think I mentioned in my last video, or one of my last videos, that I'm completely losing track of how many venues there are out there, but I mean, there's constantly new ones. So you've got Polish Pickup and Hella Handmade Creations as two of the big ones. Then you've got different companies that have their own, like For the Love of Polish. There are so many one-time chances to buy indie nail polish, whereas with mainstreams, even when it is a limited time offer, there's a lot more of them made. So I would say I'd rather spend a year buying from one indie, because I would be able to pick and choose which ones I would want, which limited edition polishes I wanted to make sure to add to my collection. Whereas with a mainstream, even if I missed out on a really, really cool limited edition polish, the chances of me finding that in a D-stash might be a bit higher than a limited edition, very desired polish from an indie maker. I know when I first discovered Polish Pickup and I was trying to go through their back catalog of all of the different polishes that had come out in previous years, there were a few. One was, I think, Supernatural Raccoon Incident. Yeah, Supernatural Lacquer Raccoon Incident, and that was going for a lot of money, as was Blush Lacquer's, what was that called? Something about a seahorse. Not Your Average Seahorse or something like that. And I really don't like paying double or triple the retail price for hard to find indie polishes. It really sort of, it just doesn't feel right. So yeah, I'd have to say I'd rather shop from an indie brand for a year. Question number 10 is, would you rather have to use nail art in every mani for a year, or not use any nail art in any mani for a year? That's another tough one, because I have been enjoying doing some nail art. However, nail art does really take a long time to do, depending on the kind of nail art that you're doing for a particular mani. I know when I did my nail art for my Star Wars mani last year, it took a very, very long time to not just plan out what I was going to be doing, but to actually come out and do it, then film it, edit it, all of that stuff. So I have most often done very simplistic nail art when I do nail art. So I might miss doing that. You might have seen my, what I call like artistry strokes of different colors on top of your main mani color. And that I think I would miss doing, because it's really fun and easy and really doesn't take much time other than trying to come up with a couple of colors that you think are going to be complementary to each other. And I might miss that. But I also often find myself, once I have decided on a color to wear, and even on days where I'm like, yeah, you know what, I want to do this, that, and the other thing, I'm going to try stamping, or I'm going to do this. Once I have the polish on, I'm fine with just leaving it as is. So I would say, if it came down to it and I had to choose, if I had to choose one or the other, I would have to say that I would want to do no nail art for a year. Because I think, like I said, that it would be something that I wouldn't mind missing out on, whereas trying to find the time every single time I wanted to repaint my nails to do something fancy might be more than I would be able to do. So we're gonna go with no nail art for a year. Next question is an honorary question. Would you rather give up your nails or give up your husband? Oh man. Well, that's a toughie. I don't think any of us could actually give up either, so I don't know that that has a good answer, because husbands want their wives to be happy, and if nail polish makes them happy, then they wouldn't want them to give it up, right? But yeah, then you wouldn't want to give up the husbands either, because the husbands can also be very helpful. Well, and their husbands. So anyways, question number 12 is actually Jocelyn's question from that tag, and that was, would you rather wear whatever polish you want and have to wear gloves all the time, or never wear polish and not have to wear gloves? I would say, as weird as it would be in the summertime, I would have to say wear gloves. I don't wear polish for other people. While I love it that other people, when you're out and about at the grocery store or online might compliment. Okay, that's another question for you. What do you mean all the time? Would it be including in a YouTube channel video? I hadn't really thought about that. But I would say if we're just strictly talking in personal life, I would definitely say wearing gloves, because like I said, I don't wear polish for the most part for other people. I put it on because I enjoy it. It's something that I really get a kick out of when I see different sparkles and glitters and shimmers and color shifts on my nails. It makes me happy. So I would say I would rather wear gloves and miss out on the compliments from other people than never ever having nail polish for my own personal enjoyment. So that's where I would go with that one. So that is it for the tag. We are all through the 12 questions. I will go ahead and link the video for Restored by Polish down below, so make sure to check out their original tag video. I'm going to go ahead and finish adding that second coat of my Quixotic's Lavender correcting base coat on top of this. Then I'll come back to show you how it looks. Alright guys, so this is the finished mani. I am really happy with how it turned out. I hope it's coming across even remotely accurately on the camera, because this is so jelly and squishy. This is the first time that I've ever done sort of a glitter jelly sandwich, and I'm really liking how it looks. That Quixotic lavender base coat worked really well. I love how it looks over this glitter. I really don't feel it's coming across as well on camera as it is in person, but this turned out so well. So I hope you guys really enjoyed the video. Make sure to tag me in your video if you decide to do your own Would You Rather tag, or if you don't have a channel and you want to participate, feel free to put the comments down below. So make sure to like and subscribe for more nail polish videos here on my channel, and I'll see you next time.